All right, so where this fire ignition story all got started, as far as I can find, this is from a letter to the Honorable Governor Gavin Newsom. I guess he had just taken oath that day. This was written on January 11th, so this is 2 weeks before they came out with the fire ignition from the still-to-be-found missing Battalion Chief John Martinez. Saving lives and property from wildfire. Yes, good subject, but look who they got in here. Sierra Club Foundation. They got the Center for Biological Diversity with a fraud because life is good. The John Muir Project of the Earth Island Institute. And, of course, Leonard DiCaprio Foundation. And you see this flat seed of life in here as well. So this is what's called a position paper. So they sent it to the governor, and this is what he used to, he'll use to back up that it was a fire ignition, not wildfires that caused it. So let's read this. Encouraged by the spirit of hope that your new administration brings to Sacramento, we urge you to take the lead in creating a new wildfire policy based on science rather than tradition. Science, where's the links? Why? Why rather science rather than tradition? Because the traditional approach to wildfires is backwards. We've been wrong. All the fire forensics experts over the decades and centuries have been wrong. It focuses on vegetation, fuel for the fire. It's a drought. It's dry. It's wet. It's growing more. There's more fuel. Rather than we just want to protect our home and families. That's all we want. We don't care if it's a wildfire. We just want to protect our families. So homes burn because they're flammable. Well, what about all the fire protections? What about all the regulations and rules? What about all the fees and everything we have to pay to make the homes cost more to protect ourselves from fires? What about fire sprinklers that are mandatory to be put on homes that are above 3,000 square feet? Anybody? Oh, they're built on fire-prone landscapes. Well, who approved the fire-prone landscapes for them to build? Anyone? Most structures ignite during wildfires. What? What? Most structures ignite during wildfires because of flying embers. Here we go. It's the flying embers of California. Let's get the circus songs out here. That can travel a mile or more from the fire front. Well, folks, what embers are they're burned off little tiny pieces of what was burning. They're embers. They're stuff you can actually almost put in your hand. They're the stuff in fireplaces. Those are embers. And they're going to blow smoke up our ass and tell them they jumped into the houses and torched iron, steel, porcelain, granite, stone? Yes, they are. This is why so many families have lost their homes. Oh, the science says. Evidence, please. Even though they have complied with defensible space regulations, their homes will still be vulnerable to embers. Embers can go anywhere, so there's no protection anywhere. This also gets all the homeowners insurance companies off the hook because it's a new cause that they didn't contract for. So makes the contracts for homeowners insurance now null and void. This is why the term new abnormal was brought out. So why the communities from wildland areas like Coffin Park, far from wildland areas like Coffee Park, have been destroyed during wildfire while entire neighborhoods have burned to the ground while trees around them have not. Now they use figure 1. Let's find out figure 1. Hey, this is what they have to explain, folks. And the reason they have to explain that is because our activism. We've been posting this picture everywhere. How could they call it a forest fire? How can they call it a forest fire? Now notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 homes that weren't scorched. And the forest wasn't even touched, but that house was scorched. That was that. And they're saying it's now because fire embers. It's clearly showing the devastation of homes, community of paradise. Note the surrounding green, mature forest with little or no scorching. Little or no? How about no? The homes were not burned by a high-intensity crown fire, but were ignited by embers followed home to home. So the embers went here, the embers went there, decided not to go here, but this ember went here, 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 decided not to go there. It's selective embering. Unreal. This is official story, folks. The flying embers. However, there is hope. Oh, we need hopium. We need hopium and change. Kamala Harris. Miss Hopium and change. While wildfire is inevitable, the destruction of our communities is not. Jack Cohen, a former head of fire scientists with the U.S. Forest Service. Here we go again. Let's go find who Jack Cohen is. Expert, research physical scientist. Oh, there might actually be a person now. Let's find out about this guy. Well, this is a story I got from Protecting Your Home. But first I want to get to here. Here's all his quotes. Expert Jack Cohen, research physical scientist, U.S. Forest Service. You'll see a lot of Jack Cohen on Firewise Madeira. So this is the guy, the expert, the one who's coming up with the term home ignition zone. Okay, this was back in 2014. They were priming the pump. We got the Jack Cohen files, folks. Let's get into the Jack Cohen files. He says radiant heat flux from burning vegetation adjacent to a structure is a principal ignition factor. Radiant heat flux. New terminology. Understanding how ignitions occur is critical for effectively mitigating home fire losses during wildland fires. The threat and life of property losses during wildland fires is significant. Have responsibility. The local, state, federal, state, and local agencies have responsibilities involving homes within and adjacent to wildlands. Responsibility to what? They already screwed up so bad. The homes got torched because the regulations didn't work. Where's the compensation for all the cities and states that put all these fire requirements on, in the homes to protect the homes? Where's their liability? But, he says, it is becoming increasingly important as more homes with inadequate adherence to safety codes. Here you go. Inadequate adherence to safety codes are built at the wildland-urban interface. The wildland-urban interface. That's where cities meet the forest. Wildland-urban interface. Just blowing smoke up our butts. And so he's come up with a new model. The U.S. State Forest Service is developing the Structure Ignition Assessment Model, or SIAM. Isn't that cute? Research results indicate that the home and its immediate surroundings within 100 to 200 feet principally determines the home ignition potential during wildland urban fires. Yet they leave the garbage cans alone and the plastic mailboxes and the green grass. The embers just don't like that. They like to go into homes and torch them. Unbelievable. All right, so this is from, I didn't know about this one. This is one of his studies from 2008. And this is in Lake Arrowhead in Grass Valley. Now, Grass Valley is just down the road from Paradise. And I didn't know about this until I just looked it up just now. But this was the Grass Valley, and here we see the same exact effects. Trees fine, homes torched, other homes fine, trees torched. So this is in 2007. He's writing this report about the home destruction examination. Jack Cohen, you see on the lead here. And you can see that these areas, pockets got hit. This is up here, up 395, or up that way, is Paradise. And it goes into this long examination, but it says, our post-burn examination revealed that the residential destruction did not result from a high-intensity wildfire engulfing homes, with minor exceptions. 6 homes got torched by wildfires. The wildfire primarily initiated residential burning from firebrands, new term, firebrands igniting homes directly and are producing spot fires that spread through the surface fuels to homes. Once initiated, home destruction largely resulted from local residential fire conditions. The ignition vulnerable homes, flammable wood roofing, surface fuels in contact with wood sidings, heavy pine litter in roof gutters, burning in close proximity to one another, continued the fire spread through the residential area without the wildfire as a factor. See how he's setting this all up. So this is from the Chaparral Institute, of which he signed on to. And also notice, go into the Chaparral Institute here, I'll put it in the links. Look who the members are. You can't find them. But they say they have scientists and research analysts and all these people in the Chaparral Institute studying sage and vegetation. And this is the report that Newsom's using to justify all the new regulations that are going to come. Amazon just announced they're getting into the home insurance business, and they're going to require smart everything. Nexus, Alexa, Nest Home, everything's going to be in your homes because we got a monitor inside the homes now. See where this is going? Home invasion. This is where they're going to go with this. I guarantee it. So protecting your home from wildfires. This is the new biomass generators, not carbon neutral. And look at this. Because most homes burn from flying embers. This is the California Chaparral Institute. Start from the house out rather than the wildland in. Well, didn't he just say in his report that the fires were starting from vegetation near the home and then got into the home? See how they're taking it and flipping it on its roof, folks? From us calling them out and say, how the heck can he burn the houses and not the vegetation? It's the flying embers! And it doesn't have to happen. We need to have more regulations and more rules because they didn't work before. Flying embers ignite most homes because most homes are flammable. Hey, we're making unflammable homes. How about an earth home, folks? We can build earth homes. Anybody talking about healthy earth homes? No, they won't let that. Try and get approval on earth homes. It's absolutely ridiculous to build the safest home you possibly can. So here they keep going on, folks. Oh, now we're going to have sprinklers on our roofs. Remember the fire department fire guy up in Paradise who was wetting down his roof? Did it help? No, not really. 100 feet of dispensable work is going to be mandatory because it works so well. But how do you stop the flying embers? Now, people were talking about the directed energy weapons is putting mirrors on their roof to protect that. Now we're going to have to protect against the flying embers. So we're going to have to get nanobots flying around our properties to regulate and control all the flying embers, to report the flying embers when they come into us. The flying embers are going to go everywhere. So everywhere must be defensible and everywhere must be protected. Gosh, folks, they're just going to keep doing this to us until we wake up, until we start speaking out. They're coming out with new regulations, new codes, and the Chaparral, California, chaparral.org is another shill site, and they're promoting the fire ember theory. No matter about the holes in the ground theory. What about them turning off the cameras up in Paradise? What about the stand down of the fire departments? What about the militarized police that showed up? What about the FEMA takeover of Santa Rosa? What about all the other shenanigans? 3,000-pound cars flipped on their roof. Is that a flying ember? A 3,000-pound car flipped on its roof, folks? They're just blowing smoke up our butts, folks. And we got to stop this. We got to stop the madness about what they're doing. Look at the home cut in half. Flying embers? How about the tree coming up through here? Flying embers? How about the plastic? Embers didn't like plastic, but embers like fire stations, but they leave the past plastic garbage cans. Okay, so this is also why they had to get off this, because we were promoting that the hottest forest fires were only 1,500 degrees. And it has to hit 2,500 degrees to melt these homes inside. So these temperatures had to hit 2,500 degrees. But how did they carve? The embers carved a straight line. See, these are organized embers, right? They work together. These embers go through college. They go through Ember College. They know where to go. They know how to self-organize. They know which homes to hit, which homes not to hit, because they're intelligent embers. Okay, these are not the embers of old that come with forest fires. These are the new fire ignition intelligent embers. They're highly educated. So we have to educate ourselves and up our game as well, folks, because these scumbags, these royal scumbags, Mayor Gavin Newsom, Jesuit School, Santa Clara, Donald Trump, Jesuit School, Fordham University, ex-governor Jerry Brown, Jesuit minister. Then we got James Lee Witt, former FEMA director, death toll 66, 600 people, 666. We got Mount Ararat, the place where the Ark landed in Turkey, right by Paradise. We've got California wildfires lining up exactly the same as where they want to build the mega city railroads, the high-speed railroads, through the burned out areas. Then you got the 5 mega dams to be built, and these are 5 mega dams that they funded back in November 2014 to put $500 billion in to build these 5 mega dams. Water is going to be the new currency. All the hydroelectric dams will start providing power for all the battery-powered cars, battery-powered homes, solar homes, and also the 5G. They're all eventually going to be put up in high-altitude platforms up in space. But here in Paradise, they got the ice rink open, folks. Isn't that great? FEMA's got a 50-acre camp next to the Chico Airport. Why? And new rules and regulations with the new abnormal Governor Brown's talking about. The fire dangers for the next 10, 15 to 20 years will increase in intensity. And then right before he leaves office, the disgraced former Cal Fire Chief Ken Pimlott says Californians must mull the build, burn, rebuild paradigm. It doesn't make sense to rebuild in areas that are now in extreme fire hazards. So Malibu, Paradise, Santa Rosa, nobody's rebuilding. California becoming the first state to mandate solar on new homes. California water restricts how much water people use in 2 years. 30% reduction in all water use in California, or you'll pay $1,000 a day fine. just like the private people with private water wells like myself are being required to report our water usage and how much water we have on our private wells, or we face a $500 a day fine. I was also in the November 2014 legislation. We're building the mega dams to put all this water, yet they're restricting our water. Get how this is working? Santa Rosa Council considers requirement in new homes to be independent of natural gas. No more gas homes. They're going to blame the gas. They're going to tie the embers into the into the gas fuel lines and the thermocouplers and the heating system. Watch. All right, and then 60 Minutes doing their hit piece. They got the bread and circuses up here. Hey, pay no attention to hell on earth, the paradise inferno. So they're keeping it alive, so we're going to keep it alive. All right, so that's the rundown on the fire ignition embers. Where's John Martinez? Story that they're going to be milking this now. It's the new paradigm, the new normal. These fire embers can go anywhere, so now all homes must be required to be fireproof because they can go anywhere. And wait till they go into cities now. Wait till these embers go into cities and watch what happens. It's not going to just be in the forest, but they're focusing on the wildlife vegetation, the extreme fire hazards that have been newly designed, and the new abnormal to get them out of contracts. So all the new contracts will require all these home spying services inside your homes, and the rebuild costs will be so extensive that they'll just be more and more costly, and it'll be more expensive. So more and more people would be on the streets, more and more people would be homeless. This is their plan. When evil men plot, good men must plan. We must come up with our tribes. Look, touch, and feel in your community. Share this with everybody. We're being run over. We're being burned out. We're being lied to. We're being stolen from. People are being homeless everywhere. The next interview I'm putting out here with a lady with her 2 children living in a hotel room for 3 months that got burned out, has nobody helping her. There's no FEMA. There's no Red Cross. And this is just one of thousands and thousands and thousands of stories going on right now, not just in California, but in the polar vortexes of the Midwest, in the Australian fires burning out of control in Tanzania and Australia, and all the weird weather going on around the world. Wake up, folks. Get active. Speak out. Don't worry about yourself. Don't worry about what they say. Don't worry if you're going to be popular or not. We don't have time for that. You cannot unhear. Speak your truth. Tag. You're it. Plain truth out. Catch you next video. Peace.